Hey everyone, Chris here, and today I'm going to be making a shooting bag for the range out of some Cordura and some kitty litter. So I'm going to show you how I do it. It's pretty simple. All you really need to have is, besides the materials, it's just some basic sewing skills. And you can do it by hand, or a regular sewing machine will work as well, because you're not going to be going through a lot of different layers of Cordura. But I'll go ahead and get started and show you the basics of it, and then move on to my sewing machine and show you how I sew it together. So the first thing you want to consider when you go to make your shooting bag is the size of the bag and the rifle that you're going to use it for. What you don't want to happen is when you go to put your rifle on top of the bag, the magazine to hit the table before the front of your rifle hits the bag. So you just want to make sure you give yourself enough clearance between the magazine and the table. The next thing that you want to think about is the shape of the bag that you're making. You're basically making a cube of sorts. It's going to have 6 sides, so I like to cut 6 pieces of material and sew all the pieces together. So I'm going to go ahead and make one that is 10 by 8 by 8, and I'll go ahead and show you how I cut that up and how I get all my pieces laid out for prep before I get started with sewing the bag together. Alright, so to get started, I'm going to be using a cutting mat. I just like to use these to cut my fabric, so you don't need one. It makes it a little easier. I do recommend using a ruler and a cutting wheel, because you just get better cuts with it. So the way that I'm going to make this bag look in the video today is I'm going to basically recreate this one that I've already made. You can see I put multicam on the sides, and this tan on the 4 other sides. As I said, going back to the cube or the rectangle in this case, all of these pieces are 10 by 8, and these side pieces, this one is 8 by 8, and this one is actually 8 by 9, but it has an overlap for a piece of Velcro so we can open and close it. And that'll be important because we're going to sew this inside out, and we'll need to be able to reach inside and pull it right side out again. So I'll cover that in just a minute. And to get started, first I'm going to cut my multicam Cordura fabric, so I'm going to go ahead and get that ready. Since cutting is pretty self-explanatory, I won't go into too much detail here on how to cut your fabric. Just remember, for this project, I'm cutting an 8 by 8 piece of fabric and an 8 by 9 piece of fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the larger 8 by 9 piece that I've been talking about. And so I'm going to show you just what I've been talking about with that. I'm going to put some hook and loop Velcro on it, and it'll end up being 8 by 8 when we're done with it. So I'll go ahead and get started on that. And basically what we're going to do to get started is we're going to cut it a 4-inch section, which is going to leave a 5-inch section. So I'm going to go ahead and use my cutting mat again. So now when I overlap these 2 pieces, now you can see that we have our 8 by 8 section. One thing to point out is when you are overlapping your sections, you want to make sure that, like you can see this side of the Cordura is dull, and this side is, the colors are a little bit more, not bright, but you can see them easier. So you want to make sure that these 2 pieces are lined up the way you want it whenever you go to start sewing the Velcro on. So I'm going to go ahead and take the fuzzy side. I'm going to cut an 8-inch piece. Which this is essentially going to go like this, because again these 2 pieces are going to overlap. So I'm going to go ahead and get these 2 pieces sewn together. As I said earlier, I was going to show you my machine. This is a Consew 206 RB. It's an industrial commercial strength sewing machine, and like I said, any sewing machine will do this, because you're not asking even a regular household commercial sewing machine to do a lot. If you were doing lots of layers of the Cordura, then you would need something like this, but for just a couple layers, you'll be fine with like your regular sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine and you're looking to make something like this, you can do it by hand. You just want to use the right needle for the thread. It's going to take you a little while, but it's an option. It's something you can do. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on sewing these pieces together now. Alright, so now we have both of our 8x8 pieces. The piece that started out by 8x9, as you see, is now 8x8. It has an inch of overlap, and this will be our opening and closing. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the tan Cordura, and again for this one we need 4 8x10 pieces. So next, we have our 4 10x8 pieces. So if you are setting these out to sew together, which I recommend you do, I like to put them together to so you can kind of visualize what it's going to look like. And this is kind of the start of putting this together. So you figure these two pieces will be basically your front and your back. They'll go to your bottom piece. So it'll start like this, and then you will finally sew the top piece on, and then the side pieces. Now this is kind of the tricky part. When you start to sew this together, you're going to sew your bag, as I said before, you're going to sew it inside out. So when you pick up your bag to start putting it together, one thing you want to be mindful of is if you're using Cordura, again, there's a shiny side and a dull side. So you want to make sure that you sew all the dull sides together if you want the shiny side outside. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I'm going to start by essentially, my first line, I'm just going to place the front piece on top of the bottom piece, and I am going to sew the first stitch right across here, and when I hold this up, it's going to look like this, and this is the first part of the box that we're building. So I'm going to go ahead and sew all these together in the sewing machine, and this part is pretty quick actually, so the hard part is just the prep. So we'll get started though. Alright, so I'm going to start by laying two pieces on top of each other, and I'm going to run a seam down one side of it, and for every seam that I do, I'm going to turn around and come back, and I'll explain why I do this at the end of the video. So now you can see this kind of opens like a book. Next I'm going to go ahead and add another piece on the other side, so when it opens up it's kind of like a trifold book. And again, this is to build up the cube. And so what you see right now is you see basically a bottom piece and a front and back. Now I'm going to add on the sides. You can see that I've already got one of the sides already sewn on, and next I'm going to sew on the other one. You do both the sides exactly the same. You're going to fold it so it's sitting inside the box, so when it stands up it creates the side, and just like the other two pieces I'm going to make 2 seams down the sides. Now I'm going to sew the side piece to the front piece, and again you just grab those two pieces, line them up,
and run a seam through them. You want to make sure not to get any of the other flaps underneath your needle as you're going through. You can see this is starting to look like a box, and that's what you're going for. You want to line up all the edges together and sew them together. Now I'm going to do another corner. Again, you just hold the two pieces, line them together, and run a seam through it. One last corner before it looks like a full-on box. So we'll go ahead and get this last corner done. Now you can see it looks like a box. The bottom piece is sewn to all the sides, and all the upright pieces are sewn together at the corners. So now we're going to sew on the final piece, which is like the top, and this will be the trickiest part, but this part is still easy. You're just going to line up the edges, and you're going to sew them right at the very tip of the edges, just like you've done with all the other ones.
sewing machine is that the way we sewed this, you can see the kind of the flat lines or the flat edges on the bag. And again, right now it's because it's inside out. So we're going to open this up in just a second and we're going to reach inside and pull it right side out. The other thing that you'll notice is that you can see that I did double stitching on the edges, and the reason I did that is because on some of the other bags that I've made, when I've just done the single stitching, if the kitty litter that I've used is small, it will come out the edges whenever you're kind of moving it around. And it's not a big deal, but I would rather just keep it all inside. So I like to do two lines of stitching. So yeah, we'll go ahead and turn it right side out now. Again, you see what how our Velcro piece opens and closes. And reach inside. Going to kind of poke the corners so that we get the full effect of them. And that's it. So it's now right side out. It is ready to have your cat litter poured in it. Another thing you can also use, you can use rice. Rice is another good thing to put in here. I just like the weight of the kitty litter. I like these to have a little more weight to them. You may have a preference, but you can pick whatever you want to get the weight that you're looking for. So earlier you saw that I pulled out one brand of kitty litter, and I actually have figured out that I like the cheaper version of kitty litter. Usually whatever you see that's cheapest, and the reason why is because the kitty litter itself is, the cheaper it seems that the cheaper it is, the bigger the clumps are and the harder it is to leak outside of the bag through the stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and see if this is enough to fill up this bag. I believe it should be. So let's see. All right, just a couple final things. You can see that on this bag I sewed on a strap. I was mostly just seeing if it was helpful or not. I didn't find it to be all that helpful, but don't be afraid to try to come up with ideas that you think may be useful for you. I've seen some folks have straps around the bags to keep the bags together whenever they are full. That way they stay more compact. And I've also seen a lot of other bags. There's a famous green bag that has no straps around the side. So just use your preference. Just figure out what you like and come up with a good idea, and you'll get what you want. So if you have any questions, you need help along the way as you're coming up with an idea, just leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer any questions you have about making a shooting range bag. I hope this video was helpful, and as always, thanks for watching.